In this video, I'm going to walk you through how I am on my way to making AI do 90% of the work that I do for my business and how you can do the same for your e-commerce business as well. So I'm excited to share this with you because I've been working pretty hard over the last few months, getting as much information as I possibly can. And AI, as you probably know, has been moving super quick, even in the last few months. In fact, there have been over 120,000 AI platforms, features, upgrades, etc. in the last 12 months alone. So if you're in the boat where you're overwhelmed with all of the things, then you're definitely not alone. And so I'm here to hopefully just be able to alleviate any concerns with that, but also just give you some really clear direction about how you can free up your time so you can spend it on, more productive things with your business, or actually just fun things, throughout your life, whether it be family or hobbies or anything like that. So first and foremost, I want to kind of just clarify like a couple of tiers. Well, there's 3 tiers, in fact, of how to use AI, and we'll go through all of them and obviously the benefits and features of each. So the first one is using AI as a search engine, essentially. So this is how we probably began using AI. ChatGPT, I'll use that as the example, is where you ask it a question and it basically goes through, all of the resources and contents and things and spits out, some answers and maybe some more direction around that too, that you can actually have a conversation. Like it'll actually prompt you to prompt it back. So it's a kind of conversation. The second tier is using it as basically a daily assistant, a daily, resource where you can bounce ideas, create structures, create, ads, create anything that you actually prompt it to do so based off of what you trigger it to do. Okay. So it's actually a proactive tool that you go ahead and actually use to make your life easier as your sort of second brain. So I'd use that as almost like a personal assistant, where it obviously gets more intelligent over time, but really we're just like, oh, I need to go and create this email, so I'll go and prompt ChatGPT for that. Or I need to go and create this ad, so I'll go and prompt it for that. Or give me ideas for, 10 ads that are going to work well at the moment. So really, really useful stuff. And that's probably what I've predominantly been using it for, at least for the last, 12 months, 2 years. But now there's a level 3, which is called AI agents or AI agency. Now, up until literally like a month ago, this was very much a, coding type system where essentially what AI agency actually is AI actually proactively doing tasks for you. So think about it like automations, right? Like say an email automation, for example, is, when something gets triggered and, it sends an email to the person who opted in and all that sort of thing. So it's actually working on autopilot without you. So this is the same thing in terms of automations, but more complex tasks that you can pre-prompt it, pre-plan it, and pre-schedule it, and so it operates on consistently. So this is exactly how I've been able to do it and how you can do it too. So the first and foremost thing I did was I actually listed out everything that I do every single day, every single week, and every single month. And I was able to actually identify a lot of trends, honestly, like 9 times out of 10, things that were repetitive or that I did consistently, as I say, every single day, every single week, or every single month. And we could start to see the trends in amongst that just really clearly by writing it down. Now, what I did with each task that I actually listed out, I actually had to list out what was within that task as well. So actually like the task within the task. So let me use the example of creating a YouTube video. All right. So that was obviously one of the tasks that I do, every single week, a few times a week. And it was like the YouTube video, task 1. But then it was within that. So it was like, okay, I have to come up with the idea. Then I have to write the script. Then I have to get it edited. So you can see how the tasks that you actually outline have many, many tasks within them. So then I was able to actually clarify, well, like what is actually involved and how can I actually articulate this? And the way that I actually mentally think about it is, how would I explain this? Well, firstly to myself, but how would I explain this to a person, a contractor or an employee, if they were to do the role? And that's how we have to think about AI in terms of our instructions, but also really, really importantly, when we're actually creating these agents, okay? Because they need absolutely everything that you can think of, that you compute, every little detail actually matters with how they are going to go and complete this task. Okay. So once you have that list, which honestly could take you half an hour or even maybe a day, and maybe you can, or an hour, like it could be something that you come back to because, we forget everything we do within a day. It's really important that we have that as comprehensive as possible. And essentially we can create a list, or you can actually prompt the AI to create a list of, hey, what agents would make my life easier? What could I actually create based on what I do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? And actually spits out an idea list and a priority list of agents that can do these specific repetitive tasks, right? That are taking up a lot of your time. So going back to the example of the YouTube video, I was able to use GPT for that. So, you've basically got the actual singular chats, then you've got your own custom GPTs that you can make, and now it has a feature of creating your own agents. Okay, this is on the paid plan. Okay, it's a business plan. I think it's maybe 30, 40 bucks a month, something like that. A lot cheaper than an employee, a lot cheaper than your time to do these repetitive tasks. So what I was able to do was, with the list that I had created in terms of what I could, use agents for, keep continuing with this, YouTube example. I was able to very clearly, specifically write out the persona, who I wanted them to be, what the exact task actually was, what resources to go ahead and use, what the trigger was, meaning the prompt about when to schedule it, other feedback, other live documents. You can start to link, Google Drives and emails and other resources that you've got. It might be Klaviyo, it might be, Meta, it might be anything that you've got at your disposal about, well, what goes into creating a YouTube video? Right. And if you don't do YouTube yourself, you can obviously relate this to a social media post, right? Just insert the blank. All right. So this is where it can be super proactive for me, because where I would need to prompt it historically, now I can actually schedule it so that every Monday morning I have my topics there ready to go because it's done its research. I have the touch points, I have the headline, I have the hooks, I have everything that I possibly need to just go ahead and do it. And that would save me at least half an hour to an hour per week, just actually coming up with these ideas, or at least the mental load of having to perform this task myself manually every single time. And then we've done it. Obviously, we do all of these tasks up until a certain point where we realize we don't have to. And so the thought of that being off my plate on every single week is incredibly gratifying, because now I can spend that half an hour to an hour of the idea creation phase, moving into something more productive, like helping my clients even more, more impactful stuff, more valuable stuff. Okay. Rather than just having the, obviously the ideas as an actual task on my daily list. All right. So it was really simple to go and create. You just have to really be clear. Give it really clear instructions, have actual points that you're working through, and keep prompting it, keep conversing with it. Now what it's actually going to do is every single Monday morning, it's going to populate my worksheet that I sent it to, I instructed it to and gave it access to, and said, hey, Will, good morning. Here is your list of what you actually need to do, or here is the list of ideas that I've got this week. Off you go and produce it. And I can then obviously be able to iterate and push back and forth and converse with it about how impactful it was, or change this format, or do more detail, less detail, what other things do I need? And it becomes this live organism. But eventually, and not even eventually, really, it's like, after about a month, it would be right up to where I want it to be. And so that's really, really exciting. Now that's for one thing. Imagine if you can do that for many, many, many things. I'm talking dozens of things that you do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And so that's, again, what I've been working on. Once you get that first one going, you know how it works and you're kind of happy with how it works and feel confident with it, then you can start to do it for other tasks. And this is my mission, to get to that 90% of what I currently do and outsource it to the AI agents, basically. So all I have to do is do only my in-person stuff, videos of literal recording, coaching calls of my clients, right? Producing other things that physically need me and my subjective and experienced brain as well. But honestly, you'd be amazed at what you could outsource. I mean, people even talk about outsourcing literal videos. Like, I don't really have to be in the video. I don't think I'll go that far, but it's possible. And so that's the incredible thing. Once you have articulated what you need help with, what you can really outsource because it's repetitive, that's when it opens up the opportunity for us to be able to literally outsource this to AI. We don't even need people anymore. And it's amazing as business owners to have all this. So I just want you to imagine, if you rock up to your desk, your office on a Monday morning, and you've got 5 of your tasks already completed, or at least they're ready to go for you to sign off on, curate based on your experience, then, how much mental load will that save, right? How much actual physical time that you could be doing more productive stuff, or honestly just saving your mental load for other important things, even if it is, your family or hobbies or things like that. So look, I just wanted to share that. I wanted to just give you, I guess, hopefully some confidence that it's quite straightforward. You can think about those 3 tiers that you're on and where you actually want to get to. But I want to actually say, just having literally been through this recently with the ChatGPT agents specifically, again, on the paid plan, how simple and easy it is and how much time it's already saving me. So I'm looking forward to, giving you updates and showing you, more tools, sharing other things with you. But I just want to encourage you to go down that rabbit hole, figure it out with what I've told you, but just understand how literal easy it is. No coding. You just have to give it clear instructions, create a template that you can copy and paste back into the GPT, and then just give it access to anything that it actually needs access to perform these functions. So look, I hope that was valuable for you. If it was, I'd love a like, love a subscribe, follow along for more stuff like this. But if you want to know more about how we help ecom brands, you can click on the link below. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.